Hey guys, so today we are going to be discussing the two banners coming out for the Dual Dokkan Fest during the 7-year anniversary on Global. So by the time this video goes live, I believe the banners should be dropping like 14 or so hours after the video goes live. I don't think we have an exact time yet. I've seen like 16 different times being thrown around on social media, so I can't for sure tell you guys exactly when the banner's coming out because again, I've seen like 50 billion different times that people have been throwing out on social media. So I'm not going to go ahead and lie to you guys and say, okay, this is when the banner's coming out because I don't even know myself. I do imagine it'll probably release at some point like 1 to 2 to 3 a.m. Eastern Time on July 8th is probably what we're looking at. But in this video, we're going to be comparing the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta banner to the LR Super Saiyan God Goku and Vegeta banner. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on which banner I believe is better overall. And we'll also sort of talk about the two units individually, although I'm not going to go into excruciating detail about them. I'm just going to give my overall thoughts here. So I think the way I did this last year was I just directly compared each slot on the banners to each other, and that's the way that I sort of evaluated which banner was better to summon on. So I think we'll probably do the same thing here. So we'll start off with the Super Saiyan 4 banner. So obviously the headlining character, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, very, very insane. It's just like they were, when they released on JP, like the catalyst for a new level of power that we haven't seen before in this game, right? Global has a bit of a taste of that in terms of some of the more recent Dokkan Fests that have released, right? So, like on JP, they got some normal TUR Dokkan Fests after the anniversary that us on Global have had a chance to experience, like Ginyu, like the Golden Week characters, the Exchange Goku and Gohan, the AGL Cell, the LR Goku and Gohan Exchange character, the Goku and Piccolo LR we have on Global. So like some of those more recent characters are post-anniversary characters on JP, and thus they are just inevitably going to be stronger overall. But I think nothing on Global probably compares to the power of these two LRs here. So yeah, I would say that no matter which banner you decide to go in on here, by the way, there's no wrong decision, right? So at the end of the day, it's going to come down to which unit you just want more. But in terms of like overall stone value and where you are going to be better off spending your stones to get a, I guess, on average, better chance of getting a usable and a good character. That's where we're going to be discussing today. So the Super Saiyan 4s themselves, I mean, again, obviously their competition in terms of comparing the banners directly is going to be the LR Super Saiyan God Goku and Vegeta here. I mean, it doesn't really matter, honestly, at all. They're pretty much the same unit, right? There are very slight differences. I will say that I think I would give a very, very slim advantage to the Super Saiyan gods. And the reason is because they have prepared for battle in their link set number one. And I think prepared for battle, whereas the Super Saiyan 4s have GT and shocking speed. And I think prepared for battle just bodes as a better link for the future of the game. As opposed to shocking speed, because shocking speed, I mean, it just you take a look at the overall roster of units in this game that have access to shocking speed, and then the same thing for prepared for battle, and there's just way more units that have prepared for battle. Like every Saiyan pretty much has prepared for battle. So, like 2 years from now, when you're building a team and you're deciding, okay, do I include the gods or the Super Saiyan 4s in the team? It's probably going to come down to the gods having prepared for battle, right? So I think it's not really going to matter much right now, and especially because the Super Saiyan 4s have good linking partners right now. But I think down the road later, it's probably going to become more apparent that the gods just work better with their teams than the Super Saiyan 4s do. Something else to mention as well is that the gods obviously are on the Realm of Gods category, and they link up better with a lot of the Realm of Gods category units or characters that are like, have God Key and stuff like that. So, like, they link up better with like UI Goku and Blue Gokus and God Gokus and Vegetas. Like take for example the Resurrection F exchange Blue Goku and Vegeta that releases the Dokkan Fest on JP. Obviously the gods are going to link up better with them and stuff like that. Something else to mention as well is I just believe there's going to be more like Realm of Gods characters that release over the course of this game's lifespan, as opposed to like GT Saiyan Roar centric Super Saiyan 4 characters, which are obviously going to look better with the Super Saiyan 4s. I think that's another reason I would give a slight edge to the gods. It's very, very minute. Like, if you want to argue the Super Saiyan 4s are better, I can understand why you would say that, and I would not say you're wrong. So that is a very, very close competition there. Now, next we have the new banner unit for both the banners. We have on the Super Saiyan 4's banners, we have the Tech Sin Shenron, and then for the Gods banners, we have the STR Broly. Now, I will tell you guys this right now. This is pretty much a non-factor because I would say that neither of these banner units is really that usable. And when I say usable, I mean they're not really like an optimal character on any of their teams. Number one, Sin Shenron. We'll talk about him real fast. So here's the difference between Sin Shenron and Broly. Broly you can run on some of his teams, right? Let's just quickly pull up the Broly here on a different tab. Let's see. I have to open link in new tab. Thank you. There we go. All right. So Broly's on 3 categories, not that many. Movie bosses, pure Saiyans, and gifted warriors. You can run this guy on movie bosses, and he'll link up okay with some of the other units, but not exceptionally well. But the thing is, like, he's just not a character you're really going to be like making space on these teams to run over other units, I don't think. Now, Sin Shenron is a different story. Sin Shenron, I think, is as a character and as a unit in this game, I think he is just straight up better than Broly. But the problem with Sin Shenron, he's on 3 teams: Shadow Dragon Saga, Inhuman Deeds, and GT Bosses. So you take a look at those teams. Shadow Dragon Saga really is not a runnable team. Inhuman Deeds has no leader, and then GT Bosses has no leader, right? So this guy actually just does not have a team, right? I mean, you could technically run him on Shadow Dragon Saga, right, if you want to use like the Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as your leader. And again, the Shadow Dragon Saga actually is going to become a better team as the anniversary goes on, because we're going to get the Super Saiyan 4s, the LR Super Saiyan 4's Easy Aid. We're going to be getting the Easy Aid for the physical Omega Shenron. So eventually the team will actually become pretty decent. But that's really his only team that you're going to be using. And obviously there's no 200% lead for that team. So, I mean, that's really his only team that he can be ran on. And it's good, but it's not like, you know, you're going to be, oh my god, you know, I'm running the Sin Shenron Shadow Dragon Saga team, right? I think if I had to choose between one of these teams to give the advantage to, I'd probably give it to Sin Shenron. And especially once the Sin Shenron gets better teams, like if GT Bosses, right, eventually we're going to be getting like an LR Omega Shenron, right? And when that happens, and he's a GT Boss's 200% lead, this Tech Sin Shenron is one of the first units you put on that team. So I think at the end of the day, this Tech Sin Shenron is probably a better pick than the Broly. All right, next, moving on, we're going to be looking at Namic Goku versus Full Power Frieza. Now, I will say this. I still think to this day, and I've been saying this since the what was it, 350 million download celebration, I definitely do like Full Power Frieza better than Namic Goku, but I think Namic Goku is definitely not like infinitely worse than Full Power Frieza, right? They're both very, very solid units. They're both very, very good. The thing about Namic Goku that I do want to point out, and I specifically opened a tab for him in advance because I knew I was going to mention this. Look how many teams Namic Goku is on. I'm gonna list them off. Okay, ready? Planet Namek Saga, Pure Saiyans, Goku's Family, Super Saiyans, Kamehameha, Exploding Rage, Saviors, Turtle School, Miraculous Awakening, Powerful Comeback, Legendary Existence, Bond of Friendship, Entrusted Will, Battle of Fate, Bond of Parent and Child. He's on like 500 teams. So Namek Goku is a character where pretty much any team he's on, you can like feel free to just throw him on the team, and he'll do pretty well. So that's the main difference, I think, between him and Frieza. Because if we go ahead and pull up Full Power Frieza here, let me pull him up into a different tab. So Full Power Frieza, I mean, he is also on a lot of teams, but the way that villains work in this game is it's very difficult to always have a slot for a villain on a team, because in order for them to work a lot of the times, you have to have a good partner for them. Whereas with hero characters like Saiyans or whatever, like Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, Gohan, whatever, a lot of the time you're going to have at least one other character on the team that you're going to be including anyway that'll link up good with them. So for a character like Frieza, he is also on like 500 teams here as well, but you're not just going to take this Frieza and throw him on a team like Gifted Warriors, or Final Trump card or Exploding Rage, right? Unless you're specifically building the team in a way that is going to be conducive for this guy's links to activate. And it's not like it's out of the question for that to happen, but it's a lot easier to build a team around a superclass character like Namic Goku, who has a lot of the typical Saiyan, Super Saiyan links. So I think at the end of the day, I think Frieza is the better character overall if you're focusing on the individual performance, but Namic Goku is just a better flexible character, and he's a better character that I think as the game moves on and these characters get older, I think Namic Goku is just going to find himself on a lot more in a lot more usable situations than Full Power Frieza will. All right, so next we have Evolution Blue Vegeta versus UI Goku. I would definitely give the advantage to UI Goku here. The thing with Evolution Blue Vegeta is it's actually kind of similar to what we just talked about, right? Except a little bit different, I guess. Evolution Blue Vegeta is even on more categories than I think even Namic Goku was. Like, look at this huge block of teams this guy's on. It's kind of ridiculous. So he can be used in a lot of situations. I just think that as power creep moves on, the UI Goku's ability to dodge at a 70% chance is just so much more valuable than Evolution Blue Vegeta's damage reduction mechanic. It's just not even close. And then I don't know. I don't know if this Vegeta is a character that you even are able to just like pick any team and put him on there. Just because of the way that his key mechanic is also designed, right? So let me pull him up again here, and let me actually open the LR version here. If we go here, and then we go here. All right, so LR Vegeta, his key mechanic is he gets 1 key for each attack performed, up to 5. He can do up to 3 attacks per turn. But if you look at UI Goku's key mechanic, he gets key every time he dodges, which obviously is going to be much easier to activate than this guy's key mechanic. So I think that's another big thing as well, where if you're looking just to fill a slot on a team, UI Goku is going to be able to fill that slot way better, because you don't technically need to link him up with the other characters as long as he's in a position where he can dodge attacks, get key, and then he should be good to go from that point on. Whereas Vegeta has to do damage, he has to... Well, he doesn't have to be in an on-rotation slot, aka not slot 3, but it's going to be a lot easier for him to build up his key over time if he is in slot 1 or 2 on the rotation, so that he can, be on rotation more often and attack more to get key up. So overall, I think it's an easy decision. I'm going to give it to UI Goku there. So next we have the LR Bootanks, who transforms into Buhan. And we have LR Super Vegito and Vegeta. Or Super Vegeta, Vegeta. LR Super Vegito, aka Goku and Vegeta. This is actually, I feel like it's one that can go either direction. By the way, I feel like with the release of the LR Super Saiyan Force and LR Gods, I think the Scouter mechanic has gotten like 500 million times better. And the main reason is because of two reasons. One, those LRs, the 7th anniversary LRs, their defense can get to absurd heights. So if you see a super attack in like slot 2, guess what? You're putting the Super Saiyan 4s or the Super Saiyan Gods in slot 2 to eat that super attack once they've had a chance to build their defense. If you see a super attack that's being aimed in the first attack in any of the slots, guess what you do? You put the transformed Super Saiyan Gods or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in that slot, and you nullify the super attack because you know where it is. So you can choose to nullify it. So I think the Scouter mechanic is even a stronger mechanic now than it was before the release of the Super Saiyan 4s because of the action break mechanic and just because of the defense level that they have. But I still think they could go either way, right? To be honest, like the big thing I've been talking about recently has been the amount of teams that these characters have been on. Take a look at this Vegeta and Goku that make Super Vegeta. They're not on that many teams. Like let's pull up the LR version. I think they're on more. So the LR. Yeah, actually no, they're on a decent amount of teams. They're on Majin Buu, Saga Batara, Pure Saiyans, Waiting Forces, Super Saiyans, coming out, Final Trump Card, Battle of Wits, Accelerated Battle, Fist Fighters, and Mod Branded Child. Yeah, okay, they're actually on a decent amount of teams actually. So let me pull up Bootanks for a second here. Let's see. So Bootanks. Let's go ahead and get you fully awakened here. So Bootanks is also on a decent amount of teams. Majin Buu Saga, Transformation Boost, Artificial Life Forms, Kamehameha, Final Trump Card, Majin Power, Power Absorption, Time Limit, Sworn Enemies, and Worldwide Chaos. So I think for this situation specifically, this is another situation where you're comparing a super class character to an extreme class character, right? And this Bootanks can definitely look very strong in the right situations, but are you really taking this Bootanks and are you really putting him on your time limit team? Are you really taking this Bootanks and are you putting him on your final trump card team? Right? I mean, maybe. Are you putting him on your Kamehameha team? What are you going to link him up with? Cell? Like, what? It's just like these villains having a lot of teams doesn't matter. And it's just because the way that they've designed these links, right? You have all these different types of villain characters. Frieza has like their own link set. Boos have their own link set, Cells have their own link set, and so it's really difficult to make a team that comprehensively is able to include all these different types of villains, whereas for these superclass characters, right, Goku, Vegeta, even if it's like Namic Goku, he should be able to link up at least decently okay with like UI Goku, right? Even though they're from different points in the series, it's still Goku, right? Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga can probably link up okay with like Vegetas from other points in the series. So it's things like that that just make it way easier to, well, Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga is a villain, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a lot easier to link up superclass characters across like the entire spectrum of the series, as opposed to extreme class characters where it's like you choose an archetype for your extreme class character and you just build a Buu team, you build a Frieza team, you build a Cell team, right? That's just how it works. So in terms of like usability between this Buuhan and the Vegito, I think I'd give it to the Vegito pretty much any day of the week. But it's, you know, in a direct comparison in terms of usability for how good they are as individual units, it's actually pretty close at this point, because the Buuhan and / Bootanks being able to stack up their defense for as high as they can get it, I think is actually pretty valuable. But I think the Scouter is just too valuable. Even though this Vegeta is going to get, or this Vegito is going to get absolutely incinerated in like the harder stages in the red zone, just because his defense has definitely not held up too well, I think I would still give the slight, very, very, very slight edge to Vegeta, right? But it is going to require that you use items, for sure. Okay. Next, we're going on to the easy part. We have the Year 5 LRs, Gogeta and Vegito, versus the Year 4 LRs, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So with this is a very easy argument, because guess what? The Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta from the 4th anniversary are getting Easy Aid in this celebration. And let me tell you, when they get Easy Aid, they are absolutely insane, right? They are crazy, crazy good. So it's kind of unfair to compare the Super Saiyan 4s versus the Year 5 fusions, because of the fact that the Super Saiyan 4s are Easy 8 and these guys aren't. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's just the reality of things. So I'm not even going to go into it. It's just a clear victory for the Super Saiyan 4 banner. Next, we have Gogeta from Year 3 versus Vegito from Year 3. And these guys also are getting Easy 8 as part of the celebration. And it's very obvious that the Vegeta is just infinitely better than the Gogeta is. They're pretty much the same character before they transform into their respective fusions, but once they do, it's kind of strange that they kept this same trope from when before they got their Easy A, but Vegeto's just infinitely better. Like, it's just, do you want counters or not? Like, that's just how it works, right? So I'd give this to Vegito easily on the Super Saiyan 4 banner. All right, next we have sort of the Dokkan Fest filler characters, TUR filler characters. We have the God, what year was this? Was this 2019 going into 2020? I think so. 2019 going into 2020 New Year's banner featuring the Majin Buu Saga, Super Saiyan 2 Goku into Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta into Majin Vegeta. And then on the Super Saiyan 4's banner, we have the Dokkan Fest GT Super Saiyan Goku and the Dokkan Fest GT Super Saiyan Vegeta. Again, I don't really think this has to be explained in too much detail. I would instantly give the edge to the Super Saiyan GT characters over the Majin Buu Saga characters. They're just newer. They perform better. They're orb changers. They do everything better. They're just better, straight up, than these guys. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to things, there are a few advantages that the God banner has over the Super Saiyan 4 banner. But I think when you take a look at the total value you're getting on this banner, with the EZAs that are coming from the Super Saiyan 4s, with these guys, the Goku and Vegeta GT units being better overall, with the overall usability that you're going to be seeing on this banner, which honestly probably just features more hero superclass characters than the banner over here, which has like Frieza and Boo. While they're still really good units, I feel like you're going to get more value on different teams out of the Super Saiyan 4 banner, in addition to the Super Saiyan 4 banner just being a better banner overall. So that's my opinion. In terms of overall value, you're going to get more bang for your stone out of the Super Saiyan 4 banner, but you're definitely not in the wrong if you decide to summon for the Super Saiyan God. So let me know what you guys think about this down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.